Talk is on, where you receive good information for your mortgage needs, such as mortgage programs and foreclosure programs to help get you out of foreclosure. Stay tuned and hear what's coming your way.
All right. Thank you for joining me here on Mortgage Talk. I'm Rick Montgomery. Glad to be here with you guys on Mortgage Talk. We've been doing Mortgage Talk for a very long time. I'm glad. Um, it's been a while, and that's because of my current business, which is the insurance business. I am a finance insurance professional where I talk about insurance products and assist people on insurance product and their retirement. Interesting. Really enjoy doing that so much. And we have our own agency, so it's a lot in putting things together. I welcome the challenge, and I think the to to have this. This is something that I'm glad that we were able to have, and I thank him for that opportunity. I'm going to talk about affordable insurance product that is regulated. All of them are regulated, by the way. I don't get involved with any products that's not regulated. That means that state and federal government regulates these products. So again, you just can't come and just throw anything out there. So when you're talking to people, you are giving them a good information, real information, not pretend information, not what you know, but what is actually what the product consists of. And today's product is going to be final expense. But before I start, I want to tell you briefly what I was doing today. What I was doing today was I was talking to several land radio stations today, including one of our old ones, WYCA Radio in Hammond, Indiana, where we launch Mortgage Talk off of, and where we launched Auto Talk, where we won an award off that. Don Houston, that was his creation, and he's the one that built it and sent it out there, and I was just blessed to be able to join him later on to be a part of that great phenomena that really led by sharing information in the automobile industry. I came in as a certified finance manager and was able to bring in lenders to help people understand credit reports and how to clean up your own and what is needed to qualify. And the show won a award for being the most informative show. I later left, and Don left, and I did the show, and then when I left the dealership because it was sponsored by James Miller Chevrolet. When I left the show, I developed Auto Info, and Auto Info started to grow. It didn't grow to the size that Auto Talk did, but it was very close. It had grown. Since then, I crossed over into the mortgage industry, where I was still dealing with the mortgage industry at that time as a loan officer, but on a part-time basis, while being a finance manager in the automobile industry. Uh, I then decided to stay there where I was in the mortgage industry to go full time. And so we created a show called Mortgage Talk. And Mortgage Talk did well on WYCA Radio, not as well as Auto Info, where they moved the show to prime time. And, I didn't have to pay for prime time slot, but it moved it to prime time. And I was working diligently to try to get Mortgage Talk there. And, month and 2 and 3 months and 4 months, I'm still working trying to get Mortgage Talk there. And it's not, I don't want to do Auto Info. I'm not in automobile industry anymore. I'm in the mortgage industry. So I didn't want to do that show. But that show was just escalating. And so I had to say no to the next year. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't think the producers at WYC Radio was very happy with me. They really wasn't. They really wanted me to do that show, because you understand that when you have a popular show, wonderful people like you tune in and you call in and you get information and you just blow the board up, which means that you got a large audience base that's going to be there for the next show. That's a good advertising base for the radio station, by the way. And so they want to keep that there. Now you got Mortgage Talk over here, who's not on prime time. It's getting some people, but nothing like Auto Info is. So they don't want to take the chance on that. Finally, in the 6 months, to make a long story short, Mortgage Talk finally made it there. The purpose of me talking to you is that we are in the process of getting things completed for next week for Land Radio, for our new show that's going to be called Insurance Investment, because you are investing. You're not only your time and your money into a insurance product that would benefit you and your family. The problem is that a lot of people don't understand about the product. Before the pandemic, I was talking about the product, and so many people, basically didn't want to hear it. And there were some that understood the need of it and was glad to hear it from you and to ask several questions, and they did. But a lot of people turn, or frown up on. Unfortunately, some of my own African American brothers and sisters, they did it a lot, and it was just amazing to me. I never will forget this young lady in 2018 when I called her house because her mother inquired, and I just was calling just to answer her questions and to give some information. And she was very quick with me and pretty much hostile. You would thought I was, I don't know, I don't know what her mind was at, but she didn't want to hear anything I had to say. You take advantage of my mother. No, I'm just answering questions. and she was very forceful and her get you up the phone. Don't ever call here again. Boom. I said, okay. Wow. I remember this story very well, and I probably told this story to you guys before. About 4 months later, I get a phone call from her. Not that same hostile individual, female that she was, or that she is, but a very calm, collected, respectful individual that calls, said, hi, Mr. Montgomery, I'm giving you a call. This is, and I'm not going to mention her name, blah, blah, blah. Or I just give a name. This is Miss Carter. I said, okay. I don't remember who she is. I speak to so many people. I said, oh, hi, Miss Carter. What can I do for you? And so she said, well, I want to get some insurance for my mother. I said, oh, okay. And I want to get that insurance that you were telling us about. I said, okay, okay. I talk about many products, so I kind of like need some specifics here. Okay. Do you remember what particular product? Well, no, not really. I think it was um, death insurance. Death insurance? Yes. I said, well, how old is your mother? Oh, she's 71. I said, oh, okay, okay. That might have been final expense because final expense can go from the age 45 to the age 90. 89 through certain insurance carriers, 85 max level to other insurance carriers. Then an insurance uh, agency, we're able to sign up with many. So therefore, signing up with many, what happens is that we can tailor the insurance to your particular need. But she called to say, I want to get the insurance and I want to pay for it. I said, okay, fine. Just let me just get some information. I asked, you know, all the basic questions, your name, phone number, address, blah, blah, blah. And she said, okay. And I said, oh, by the way, is your mother there with you? She says, no. I said, oh, okay. I said, I can set up an appointment to come and see you guys. This was before the pandemic. Actuality, yeah, it was. It was in 2018. And she said, "Oh, okay." And she sort of was hesitant with that. I sort of picked that up, and I thought, well, maybe that won't. I didn't even tell you a time frame. So I said, "Well, what is good for you?" And she says, "Well, I come to you, or you can come to me, whichever is comfortable for you." I said, "Well, whichever is comfortable for you, it's fine with me." And I said, but I will have to meet your mom because you're obtaining insurance for her, and she needs to be aware of it and sign the application. You can't do it without her signing the application. No, no, I can't do that. No, no. Oh my God. Well, she won't be able to do it. She's at AR Lake Funeral Home. I said, she's at AR Lake Funeral Home. She said, yeah. Now I don't know if she's working there or So I'm like, oh, okay. That's not a good time for her. No, no, my mother passed. You cannot obtain. There's no insurance company nowhere on this planet that would insure someone that's already deceased. The moral of that story is that insurance is an investment. And if you don't have it, stop playing with yourself. When the pandemic hit, and certainly hit in Illinois pretty heavy, thousands and thousands and thousands of people lost their lives. And did you not know thousands and thousands and thousands of people did not have insurance protection? Their families, some of their families who would have been able to help was unable to because the pandemic affected their jobs and they wasn't working. And so you saw so many GoFunds and community churches that even they had to shut down and close their doors. Community centers had to close their doors, not all, because some converted over into passing out food. And it was a long line of cars and people standing outside for food with their phone blowing up. Can you help us? I lost mom. I lost dad. I lost my son. I lost my daughter. I lost my baby. And if they had coverage, that peace of mind would have been there. That peace of mind would have satisfied the need. But they closed the door. Not all. but they close the door for the opportunity to understand the product, to be able to bring in the service for their need. And that's who I want to talk to today. I don't want to talk to the people who understand, who already know. I want to talk to those who don't know and those that are currently working and they have a policy on their job, which is a term policy. The job met the state regulation in providing that for you. But when they laid you off, well, stop. When you was let loose, that policy came to an end. It may have had some what I call drag out time, where it ended in 30 days or 45 days, but it came to an end. And if you wanted to continue, you could continue that policy, but the insurance company was more than happy to provide an individual policy. That's a group policy, an individual policy for you, but you're unemployed. And perhaps the quote that they gave you, well, it just wasn't trying to tailor the need. And the need is the financial need as well as the need for you and the peace of mind for your family. Now that's term that's on your job. You can't take it with you. So stop hollering, I have insurance. As long as you have that job, you do. But here's another thing about that insurance, by the way. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. But riding on the job, the payout is going to be slow. Because they have to wait. They don't really have to, but sometimes that is the rules and regulation that your job will have, where they want to make sure that there's no garnishment. There's nothing coming in at the end that they may get stuck to pay on your behalf. So they normally like to wait 30 days before they pay it out. Okay, not all jobs, but the majority of them. And if yours not one, God bless you. It's not good. I got mine in a week. Okay, great. Because that means that they waited a week. Nothing wrong with term. If you have an individual policy term that you have that control, you have that peace. Now, term is recognized as death insurance because basically that's all it's going to be spent for, to cover the expense. Okay. No benefit to the survivor who's still alive and paying on that policy. So I want to talk to you today about final expense. Because final expense have gotten a call by some people who recognize it as death insurance. It's not term. It's a whole life policy. Did you hear what I said? What is term? Term is a short period of time or a period of time that will end. When that time comes, it's over. Individual terms can be utilized in 10 years, 20 years, or even 30 years. And at the end of it, it's over. And it can fit people. It can, and it's very inexpensive. And it can fit certain people's budget. And it can fit in certain people's need. It can be utilized along with a whole life policy. So there's great things about term. And I'm not here to talk about term. But I want you to understand the goodness about it in the way that it's used If it's not an individual for you and something on your job, could be a disadvantage going on. But I'm not telling you not to get it, okay? But you better have something else because it's going to help the family to a certain extent. Depends on what your face value is, okay? Once again, it's nothing like an individual policy. So I want to talk about the final expense because it's not only good for and bring forth a peace of mind, not only for you, but for your family. But guess what? It can be utilized for you, the living now. It's a great thing. Grandma and grandpa can put a rider on theirs for the grandchildren. Has a lot of good advantages. But it can be utilized for you because it contains a cash value in it. It builds up. And it's a whole life policy. What whole life means that it's for you for the rest of your life. Even when you pay the policy out, it still stays in effect and the accumulation value continues with the interest higher than any interest you can earn at any bank. Can't touch this. It's a contract between you and the insured. You see, final expense is what you should have planned or should be planning in an early stage. No one knew that this pandemic was going to happen. No one knew. Nobody had no inclination. Nobody knew. And if they did know, they certainly didn't share it with anybody. It hit everybody. It was a world pandemic. And so many people got caught without protection, with many people dying. Here in Chicago, Illinois, just last weekend, as we approach a new weekend today, which is Friday, just last weekend, over 100 people were shot. About 18 died. Out of the 18 that died, more than half did not have insurance protection. Now, it's not their fault. They didn't walk down the street and say, hey, you know what? I don't want to live no more. Shoot me. They're minding their own business. Law-abiding citizens. And the non-hackers came over and decided, I want to carjack you. The non-hackers came over and decided, I need to fulfill my gang initiation and shoot you. The non-hackers decide I need to rob you, then shoot you. With no care about life. A man 72 years old pulling into a gas station just to gas up his truck, minding his own business. And these two young punks wants to come along and carjack him. You got the car, you got the truck, move on. But no, I got to shoot him. Took him out of the life of his family, of his daughter, his grandchild. But more than half did not have insurance protection. We don't need to wait until that happens. And I'm talking to you who don't have it. And I know you don't want to hear it, so you have the option to cut it off and don't listen. Remember the pandemic, where we all know somebody close to us and neighbors that died that did not have insurance, and we couldn't, and we didn't have no real money to help out. We can try to cook some food for you. We can try to go and maybe be a usher at the funeral, but we can give what we can give, but we didn't have to be able to help you to fulfill the need. And some of these people, where they wanted to have a homecoming, were limited to the amount of people that could show up. Thank God for Zoom and WebEx, Cisco WebEx. Thank God for them, because then they became part of the virtual audience or the virtual family support. Indeed, it was different because only 10 people were allowed to be there. And that included you and your husband or your wife, okay? And your immediate family probably took up 5 or 6 of the space. So it left you to choose certain selective people, which I'm sure was very, very hard to do. Very hard to do, I'm sure it was. Our family lost people in that area. It was very, very hard to do. But the fact is that the process had to change because of not having insurance protection. Then the burial process changed. So a cremation had to be done, and that's why cremation statistics went up tremendously during the pandemic, because no one had insurance protection. So from any donations and gathering of funds among families and friends, cremation was the top of the list. Some families mourn because, number one, I can only have 10. Some families mourn because I couldn't give my loved one who gave so much to me in my growth, in my development. I could not give them a homecoming that they rightfully and justifiably deserve. I remember how we planned for their sister, my mama's sister, when she died. And what a homecoming we gave her. I remember flying down to Sweetport, Louisiana, or Meridian, Mississippi, or Florida, Jacksonville, or Orlando, or Pine, Florida, or Martha's Garden, where we gave a great homecoming. I remember flying to Hawaii, where we gave my sister or my brother a good homecoming, where they were stationed at or where they decide to live there. I remember going to Pittsburgh, another good city, where we buried my uncle and gave him a great homecoming. But during this pandemic, we were shortchanged, wasn't allowed to do so. But then we shortchanged ourselves again because we closed a deaf ear to the opportunity for insurance investment, for insurance protection. We didn't do that. So I want to tell you about the final expense. I'm not going to beat you on it. I'm really not. But I found something out. That lack of education, meaning the lack of understanding of these policies, leads to deaf ears, because I'm hearing so much, and everybody wants to tell me, not ask me, Everybody wants to throw at me, not sit down and explain to me. And when I want to ask a question, I get camera down or sort of waved down. Hold on, let me finish. I'm being sold to, not talked to. So I'm gonna close my ears when I hear you. And what I found is that when you can give information from an educational point where a person can understand this particular product that you're talking about, now I can decide, is there a need there for me? And if there is, now I have a few questions that I can ask. If I need to go back over to review the show, I can go back and listen to the show again. And I can pick up some more questions. And then I'm able to answer or ask and get my answer to the question. Now I know some of you may have questions now, but I have a short time and I want to be able to give you the information. I'm not going to ignore your question. I'm just unable to answer it at this particular time. So let me give you my email. MCC Financial SVS Sam Victor Sam at AOL.com. MCC Financial SVS at AOL.com. And you can send me your questions, and I promise you I will answer them. And I'll send you back your answer. If you prefer to talk to me on a one-on-one because you got several questions and I want to get some answers now, I have no problem in talking to you. Just because you talk to me, don't obligate you. People talk to me about the mortgage industry. It don't obligate them. Okay, I'll be able to refinance your house. It doesn't work like that. Okay? You want answers to your questions. I have the answers. And I will share my answers with you because I've been bit by the bug of the gift of giving, and I always have and always will give you the answers to your questions, whether it's the mortgage industry or the insurance industry or the retirement financial end of the insurance industry. I will get you and give you the answers. And if you decide that you want my assistance, then I'm there for you, but I will not force it on you. So I answer your question, email me. If you want to call me directly, my office is 708 572 7855. Let me do something quickly because I did get an email from Hap TV that says you should mention your bio. I said, okay. First, I didn't know my what, but they're right. They're right. I should mention my bio in this, and I get caught up, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay. Yeah, I had to write it down. Briefly, I'm Rick Montgomery. I own MCC Financial Service. It is an insurance agency. I am a finance insurance professional and a commercial now mortgage broker. Used to be a residential mortgage broker for 20 years. I'm not in residential anymore, but I still stay in tune and still attend the seminars and meetings because I host a show, Mortgage Talk, which you're on, which I'm talking about insurance now. For 5.5 years, I've been in the insurance industry. Is actually 5 years and 9 months, to be exact. I am a certified finance manager through Western Diversified Insurance Company, a John Adler company. I'm still a member of the AFIP, which is the Association of Finance Insurance Professionals, and I'm also part of the Illinois Insurance Association. Okay. I am an annuity specialist. Which is talking about index annuity and fixed annuity and split annuity. Yeah. Currently training in the PC market, which is property and casualty. That's homeowners and um, auto and commercial. I should have those licensed probably within another 3 weeks, I would say. Okay. I'm licensed in Illinois and licensed in Virginia. My agency is. I do have producers that works for us here at MCC Financial. We are very, very selective on who we bring aboard. We really want those that have the passion and the time and will to explain and answer questions, and don't rush anybody. And that's what we screen for. Okay, that's pretty much my bio as a commercial mortgage broker. Yes, I've been that for about 13, 14 years. I've done from gas stations to apartment units. Um, I've even, I've even in the residential market. I've even helped foreclosure out. I did one foreclosure in the commercial unit. That's not all. Trust me, that's not really easy to do. By the way, it really isn't. But it's a good challenge, and we did it. And will I do a foreclosure now? Of course I will. And am I confident I can get it done? You bet. Do I advertise for it? Not really. you know, um, in the flyer it would say that, but it's not something that I pushed in. I didn't really push it in the residential market, really. Yeah, but it was on the flyers, and if you was in foreclosure, then of course we help you. We got recommendation from some attorneys and from our own church and from other churches. I was a proud member of Salem Baptist Church of Chicago, and in the community, there's a lot of people there that were in trouble. I was the leader for the real estate mortgage ministry, and so the ministry itself helped out so many people. And then when you are involved in something like that, then it grows. And so people, oh, okay, let me go to him. Okay, he works for Marathon Mortgage, because that was the name of my mortgage company, Marathon Mortgage. I was a partner in with an Attorney Shaw. Actually, was his company, but I shared in with that. Okay, so that's pretty much the bio of me, Rick Montgomery. Now let's get into final expense program. Okay, uh, final expense will give you a peace of mind knowing that you can take care of the final expense for your loved ones. Final expense is a whole life insurance policy, and the final expense whole life insurance plan is what it is, a whole life insurance policy. It can help minimize the emotion and financial burden that comes with the loss of a loved one because you don't have that income anymore. That could become a burden when you are depending upon that income. Um, it can help fund your final wishes. You can plan for tomorrow. A funeral is the third largest finance expense you will have in your life. It is the third largest. The first large expense is owning a home, the American dream. The second largest expense is purchasing an automobile, whether you finance it or whether you pay cash. You paid a lot. And some of us have paid a lot of money for some cars, 20 grand, 30 grand, you know. Took a long time to make that money, but we just didn't want no notes. But the third largest expense that you would pay in your life is funeral. Some of the average cost for a funeral is $10,000 or more. The National Funeral Association says for 2019, they said it was at $8,900. Now, I've heard somebody tell me, and it's very, 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 very few, oh, I got a whole funeral for $5,000. You did? Yeah. Okay. Show me the paperwork. Oh, I'm good. Go look in that drawer, Johnny. Bring me the paperwork. Bruh, I'm glad to show you. And they go and they get the paperwork. And when you get the paperwork and you see the cost in there, the cost came to over $8,000. But the funeral director had contributors that will contribute to people that just don't have enough money to cover the costs. And so they issue a $3,300 credit. Okay. So that person's costs came to $52,198 with some odd cents. And so they gladly to show you that they paid $5,000. And you don't know what you're talking about when you're saying 8,000 and 10,000 and more. Show me the paperwork. And what you will find in that paperwork, you will find credit, or you will find that it wasn't like what they thought. Now, I did run across one beautiful lady, beautiful sister, beautiful sister, beautiful inside, beautiful outside. And at 71 years old, she was still a fine fox. And she showed me where she paid $5,000. And the funeral director been knowing her for over 30 years. And he owned the funeral. He's the owner, baby. And he decided that you tell me that's all you have to pay, I'm going to make that work. And God bless his soul because he made that work for her. You see, those are special occasions. Those are great occasions. That's a good person who lived a good life, who treated people right, and made friends along the way, including the insurance director. And bless his heart because he wanted to give her something. And that's all she had. Don't you worry. I got you covered. And he did. So God bless those who receive that blessing. But there's so many people out there who is straggling the fence in the belief of the great I am. And in their struggle process, they're not going to get that kind of blessing that you got. So their funeral costs is going to fall in the lines of what the National Funeral Directors Association said, 8,900 or more. That cost could be 10,000 or more. With an added additional expense with the funeral, such as ceremonies, transportation to and from and to the grave itself, opening and closing the grave, These things can cost thousands of dollars that add more into the base price. Did you know? And I had a lady who proudly told me, beautiful lady, my Social Security got me covered. I want to hear what you got to say, she said. I said, yes, ma'am. Can I just say one thing? You can't say nothing to me. I said, yes, ma'am. And the other lady said, let him say something. He seems to be a nice young man. Let him say something. And she said, baby, what is it that you want to say? I said, ma'am, did you know that Social Security is only going to give you $250 toward funeral? Other lady looked. She said, no, they're not. And this lady who said, let me say something, said, he's not lying. Because that's the check I got for Roger, which was her late husband, from Social Security. And she said, I remember when my father died, and he was a veteran, and VA sent a check to my mother for $300. But that's not all. Overwhelming, the majority of the U.S. healthcare costs raise in the final phase of people's life. The cost is going up. Let me talk to you. You know, cost is going up right now after the pandemic. Have you tried to rent a car? A small car will cost you $600 plus a day. A mid-sized car gonna cost you over $700 a day. And a large car, I'm gonna say large because they want to call it something different. I used to sell cars. A full-size car, let me put it on that point, will cost you over $800 to $900 a day, whether you're in Atlanta, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, South Africa, Chicago, New York City, Los Angeles, will cost you that price. Price them. Go to your favorite one. Is it Hertz? Is it Budget? Is it Enterprise? Check them out. They say it's a car shortage. Technically, somewhat, because they need to make more chips. Don't get me started on them chips now, because you got vaccinated with one. Don't get me started. But it's a chip that's missing. Products going into stores takes longer to get delivered and costs more. Have you been in some of these furniture stores? It's going to take you 6 months to 8 months just to get it delivered. And it's going to cost you a lot more. That couch that you saw there, probably before the pandemic, was costing you about $349 for the couch. It always had been an individual price, even though they would sell it in a group. And they gave you a little discount for the group, too. The love seat was like $270. And the chair, now, back even before the pandemic, they were sneaking up the price on the chairs. That's why they kind of make them a little bit more pretty. Sometimes it will coincide with everything, but sometimes they have different mixture of colors, but still coincide, where they can jack the price up a little bit. They will sell like $300 and some dollars. Okay? Damn near as much as the couch. Have you went in there recently? That whole thing will cost you about $3,000 to $4,000. And when they deliver it, you ain't getting it all in no one bundle. It may take you 4.5 months to get the couch, another 3 months before you get the love seat. The chair may come 30 days after that, and another 2 months before you get the end tables and the lamp. That's how delivery has been done. Have you been in some of these places where they got to order things for you and you have to wait till to get there, but you got to pay for it first? But the cost is going up. After the pandemic, everything is going up. The Alaskan pipeline is getting ready to get shut down, so oil prices can jack up again. They got to make money for the oil business. You know how the game runs. And gas prices is going to return to the George Bush era, where we paying $6 and some a gallon. Oh, it's coming, baby. It's coming. But yet, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, let me talk to you. Life insurance is staying the same. Now I'm here to tell you something. It can't remain the same. It too is going to get hit. But it's holding on. And you ain't got to worry about that in 2021. And I can't promise you how it's going to be in 2022. But they are fighting hard as they can. I want you to know that. I've been to the meetings. Got more to go and more to learn. Now's the time. If you purchase a whole life policy and you keep the premium going, you would pay that premium for the duration of that contract. You hear what I'm saying? And when the policy is paid out, you have a cash advantage that continues to grow for you. Baby. Thousands of dollars when it's at your disposal when you need it the most. You can even add to it to help the growth. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that beautiful? And your premium never changes. If you got babies, children, that's probably what I should have been talking about was juvenile policy, which is one of my specialties, especially for children that have cerebral palsy. Did you know that it's almost impossible to get them life insurance coverage? Did you not know that? You know how expensive it is just to get them health insurance coverage? But I'm here to tell you, so affordable. As I did one young man who had cerebral palsy. Got him a policy for $22 a month. And he's only 15 years old. And that amount is going to last him for the rest of his life. That premium will never, ever, 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 never, never, ever, never change until the policy is paid. I help another juvenile who just turned 16. She was 15 at the time. And she just turned 16 this week. And I got the policy last month. $11. You hear what I'm talking about? $11.00 is her premium. It will never, ever, ever, never, 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 ever, ever, never change as long as she paid the premium. It lasts her for the rest of her life. Both policies are whole life and cash buildup. So by the time they get 25 and 30 years old, they got a nice lunk of money sitting there making interest, and they can utilize it whenever they want to. What a great gift that is for babies. Do you realize that you get your baby a policy so by the time your child turns 18 or 19, you got to have a lot of the college funds already there. You just set a college fund for them. Or if you got the college fund already set and you're going to set it from your job or set it from whatever other investment strategies that you have, you just help them build not only wealth, but a legacy. I helped a a beautiful female for her baby. Do you know what a policy costs? $5.95. Do you know what I'm saying? For that baby. Hell, she said, hey, I don't want a monthly premium. Make this a whole year. Make it an annual. And she paid the first annual up front. Perfect. How much is $5.95 times 12? Why wouldn't you pay it for the whole year? How old was that baby? 2 years old. I'm two. That's what that beautiful baby said. I'm two. I said, wow, she can talk. I'm two. You too. I'm two. I said, wow, what a beautiful baby. But a great legacy being built. Finance, insurance, investment was done. Our commitment to you and your family, with so many insurance companies offering different types of insurance plan, myself, my company, know that your choice comes down not only benefit, but price that fits your budget. The company financial strength is important to you. How long has this insurance company been around? Tells a whole lot about the future of how long it's going to be around. The service. What type of service when I call? Am I left on hold and hold and hold and hold and hold and hold? What is its reputation? Does it have a reputation of not paying out or slow paying out or come up with obstacles that prolongs paying out? What's the reliability of this company? Is it making profit? And what's the experience of this company? You see, all this information, these are questions that need to be asked when you are obtaining insurance. When you're seeking to get quotes and you get a quote and you say, that sounds great, that's going to fit me. Now tell me about the insurance company that's going to provide this for me. That should be the next question. Too often my people rely on not all my people, but my people who rely on price, which is good. After they get past the point that I'm gonna listen to you, most of the time they don't listen. And too often they don't ask those questions about the company. You need to ask those questions. For a long time, in the 50s, 40s, and even the 60s, African Americans insurance representative was white or Asian. Not many. Very, very body few black. And they sold us term policy, not a whole life. They said, don't worry about the whole life. Costs too much. I'm going to introduce you to term. It's inexpensive and it fit you and your family. And we bought right into that because we did not understand the product. And now that term product did fit some families, but it didn't fit a whole lot of families. See, a term product is a term. At the end of the term, it ends. And he sold African Americans 10-year terms, 20-year terms for some, and very few 30-year terms. So when the African American 10-year policy term ended, they was under the impression they still had insurance. They've been riding for over 6, 7 to 10 years without insurance, but had the impression that they had insurance until they had a policy review. Check your grandfather's policy. Check your mother's policy. Okay? If you don't know, let a professional insurance person check it. My own father, okay, he had a couple of policies. The policy that my dad had, and he paid his insurance faithfully because my father trained us that insurance is the third largest investment that you would do, and it's mandated that you have it. He drilled that in all 5 of his kids' head. We knew we had to have insurance. As my dad said, insurance. Got to have some insurance. Auto insurance, life insurance. Got to have some insurance. And my father got a policy from a real nice insurance guy, Mr. Moakati, who is no longer with us. But he sold him a term policy and left some unanswered questions that was never asked. And the policy itself was partially explained. I even bought one from a company called Sun Life that's no longer in business. But the policy was a term policy. And term doesn't have benefits. Now, in today's time, there's a few insurance companies that have a rider that you can attach on to a term and have a cash value rider. So that term can generate some cash value, but not all insurance companies offer this. Very selective few does. Okay? Just so you to know that. But the majority of them do not. Okay? My father's policy expired over 10 years ago. And he thought he still had insurance. I met a lady who was with her sister who wanted to only add $3,000 to the policy that she currently had. She had a $10,000 policy, and she said with the costs, she figured she needed another $3,000 and didn't want to leave a burden to her only sister. And so she called me over to come over to give her a $3,000 policy, in which her daughter was flabbergasted. I have $3,000. If you ever die, I'll have it for you. You don't need. Oh, mother, you just crazy. You let that man talk you into it. But I didn't talk her into anything. She called me. I was speaking at her building, and she came up and gave me her card and asked me for mine and said, I'm going to call you. You know how many people say that and then don't do it? And she called me the next day, 8 o'clock in the morning, and said, you sound like you sleep. I said, no, I'm not asleep. Are you sure? I said, no. Is this the phone to your house? I said, no, ma'am. This is my office. Then she said, you sound like you sleep. I said, well, I apologize. I said, I am drinking on my coffee. She said, well, you hurry up and take a couple of sips. Like I'm drinking on coffee now, but this is iced coffee. And so I did. And I was able to provide her that. What the daughter did not know in 2019, June of 2019, that a pandemic was around the corner. Nobody knew. That's what insurance is for. Unexpected things that you can't see or have a crystal ball. Unexpected things. And these unexpected things happen. During the pandemic, she lost her good job. She was making $80,000 a year. They let her go along with many, many others. What went with that job? That $3,000, mama, I got to cover you if something happened to you. Why you let this man talk you on a policy? I didn't talk on a policy. But mama understood the need and the unexpected things. As mama told me, my husband, she said, bought up real estate. And we were in California. We lived in California, a big mansion. And she showed me a picture of that house. Beautiful. When he got sick, we sold that. But here are some of the other properties that he had. And when he died, I got these properties. I sold this one to move out here. I may be living in a senior citizen apartment, but I own these two right here that I'm leaving to my daughter. They paid for. Now she got to watch herself. A lot of crooks out there that try to take it from her, and I amen her on that. And we have a lot to talk about because you know me, I'm in the mortgage game. You know I know mortgages. So we talked about a lot of different things and programs and how to protect your property. The most important one that I talk about on Mortgage Talk. I shared it with her. Trust. Put your property in trust. And if she had to listen to her daughter, with her daughter sincere in heart, but had no control, because she's not the owner, had no control, because she can't control her position. It can be snatched, taken away at any time. And it was done so by the pandemic. But she kept her protection. She kept her protection. So let me ask you these questions here. Really? Could your family afford to pay your total final expense without significant sacrifice to their savings? Can you spare your family the cost and emotional drain at the time of death? I'm talking to you. Peace of mind that your family will be better prepared for if you taking care of your final chapter in your life. If you had a final expense policy, you have given them that peace of mind. Without it, your family would have been without that peace of mind. You may qualify for one of these plans relating to final expense. If you have outstanding medical bills, could the cash value in the final expense help with that or even pay that? Mm-hmm. But if you don't have it, well, hey, no, man, that's my mama. I ain't got to worry about nothing. Aren't you the executor of the estate? Yeah. They sue the state. They send collections to the state. They file against you at the state. With a final expense policy, you can get a face value up to $35,000. But like with all policy, age does play a role. If you're 80 years old, you're not going to get a 35 face value policy. But you can get a 25. If you are 85 years old, you're not going to get a $35,000 face value policy. But you can get a $20,000 face value policy. What if you already have some insurance, but it's $8,000? That's not going to be enough. It's not. How much does it cost you to rent a car today? How much you think that funeral director is going to charge you to bury somebody today? How much you think the cemetery is going to charge you? Prices is going up. And so are those prices. Those graves owned by LLC company. The funeral director who owns his funeral parlor is an LLC company. That's individual, baby. Got nothing to do with your insurance. Your insurance didn't go up. Thank God. That's why you better run, skip, jump, throw out a softball, and get you one before it go up. It will never go up because you have a contract with them as long as you pay the premium. I'm not talking about just final expense. I'm talking about any whole life policy, any term policy, any retirement. Whether it's annuity, index universal life policy, all whole life policies, all have cash built up in them. Woo, baby. Love it. You don't have one, you may need to get one. Everything is going up. So you need to take a look at your world. Take a look at you and your family. Do you have yourself and your family protected? You bet not tell me about your job, because then you missed me what I said earlier. Don't you dare tell me about your job. You don't even know if you're going to have one in another 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Don't tell me nothing about, I got my insurance on my job. That's term. Don't tell me nothing about that. And that's group term. You can't carry it with you. Ain't no cash bill up in it. It don't benefit you. As long as you're working, you got a benefit. So, what about your baby? What about your children? Don't tell me about, I got some savings and I got over here. Did you see how things going up right now? Do you see how much things going on right now? Have you tried to buy a used computer? They cost what a brand new computer costs now. Oh no, I'm sorry. Brand new computer costs more. They just went to the level that the brand new computer was at. Have you tried to buy a laptop? How about a used one? And a good one like HP. Oh, this is used. And you want how much? Used is going so much now. The percentage of it, too. When you go to Walmart, dig this now. When you go to Walmart to buy a laptop, and if you don't click on new, Walmart is going to put up next to it one you get for $429 or $399. You say, damn, that's, oh shit, that's Walmart. And so you clicking on until you see the word, what is it? Replenish. That means use. It's selling. Walmart making sure I got you, baby. You can click over and you can get the $700 or the $800 one, or you can get this HP. It has all the toys and all the things in it, and even have Windows 10. And you click right on. That's right in my picture. Everything is going up, and it's going to get worse than that. So, question: do you have your family protected? Is your baby protected? Whether your baby is 10 years old, 2 months old, brand new to the world, 16 years old? What about you who your child has special needs? Do you have a policy? Because I know how difficult it is to get special needs children done. Trust me, I do. So I'm blessed by the best to have insurance carriers that can help special need children get a life insurance, whole life insurance policy. I'm proud to be able to say that. Not many insurance producers even want to deal with it because know how tough it is. And there's no money in it for them. But I'm here to tell you, we can get it done here at MCC Financial Service. It's all about the satisfaction for the customer. Somebody got to be out here to be able to do things like this to help people out. Somebody got to do this. And I'm proud to be one of the somebodies that's out here doing that for our special need children. Now, I'm here to tell you, not all special needs are going to be able to flood the market, and every last one will be able to get done. It's going to be, it is a tough road, but it's one that I'll go down with you and fight with you for. I'm going to ask for all the right weapons to take back, make them feel like dogs if they don't comply. But I can't promise everyone. I wish I could. But knock on wood, thus so far, the great I am has been with us. We have not lost a case yet. So we must be doing something right. At least we're going to continue to learn more and go to seminars and understand underwriting. So we'll be able to provide the underwriter with what the underwriter needs. Because every policy is different and based off what the underwriter is looking for, matching the insurer needs, what the insurer sets the policy and the rules for. Okay, so we try to learn that, and so we can try to be able to meet that. I'm here to tell you, there are plenty of insurance companies that will insure children, quote unquote, normal children, and you can compete with them on premiums. But I'm also here to tell you there are very, 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 very few that do children with special needs. And I'm talking about children that has special needs that may go to Lorbetas Hospital for Children or any other children's hospital that has special needs. If some of those kids wasn't under the state, their health insurance they wouldn't even have because of the cost. And with health insurance rising and continue to rise and rising even now after the pandemic. So if you didn't lock in no health insurance, you better run, skip, and throw out a softball and get some health insurance. We can help you there too. But get health insurance before it go. It's already crazy. It's about to get outrageous. Life insurance is there. Grab it, nab it while you can. Do it now while you can. Call me 708-572-7855. Get a free quote from us. Our website is being created now and hopefully be launched by next week. So I can recommend you to go to our website, sign up there, or get a free quote from there. At least know what the cost is going to be. At least know what type of insurance product that you're interested in or that will fit you. And if you're not ready, you're not ready. Ain't no rush on. The only thing I'm gonna tell you, don't procrastinate. May not be ready next week. Okay, fine. But did you know that your first payment don't have to be the same day, that you have 30 days before that could be done? And you will choose the date. And they'll just debit either from your credit card or debit from your account. Some carriers want you to have a savings and a checking. Other ones, they don't care. If they doing a credit card debt. But the majority would like for you, you see, a savings and a checking shows stability. And you have banks online. Inexpensive, $25, open up an account. Come on. You don't need to go and need to get those signature credit cards that where you put money on. You don't need that. That was for you to go to the currency exchange. You have banking online now, and by reputable banks or independent LLC that has a contract with a FDIC insured bank that they are under the umbrella of, and they can provide you the service and help build up the bank at the same time. Okay? There's plenty of banks out there. Do your work diligently. Find one. So there's no excuse not to have a savings or a checking account. And I'm especially talking to you young people. There is no excuse. It's stability. It's the way of the world. It's stability. You need that stability. And that's what that will bring to you, stability. Without that stability, some great and good insurance companies are just not going to take you. Okay? Final expense, as I wrap it up. There are some insurance companies for final expense that will pay 30% if a person dies in the first year. There are other and will pay 70% if they die in the second year, and 100% if they die in the third year. That's why you have 3 stages to choose from final expense. And you need those stages explained to you because it may fit your budget, it may fit your need to have coverage day one. Now you're going to pay a little bit more, not that much, but it will fit your need. What if you have a policy already and all you need to do is add $5,000? Okay, you can get a $5,000 final expense policy for very inexpensive. I've known people to pay $15, $13. What if you get a final expense policy for $7,500? All I need is just $7,500. Okay, not a problem. What if I need one for $8,500? Not a problem. What if I want to go through the max $25,000? Well, that's through some insurance carriers. If you want one more than $25,000, we have insurance carriers that will go up to the max, which is $35,000, depending upon the insured age. Okay, you can't be 85 and 80 and get $35,000. I'm not going to give it to you. I don't care who you wait for, where you go, or what your friend Jack told you across the street. Okay. You see, the policy, the final expense policy, comes with a living benefit that benefits you, the living. That's why it's called a living benefit. You see, that living benefit is also going to benefit your family too. It's going to benefit your family because what if your daughter is the beneficiary or son? And it covers all of your funeral needs. They may even have 1,000 or 2 left over. But you got about $6,000 in that medical bills that just hit. and hit the estate. And you guys pay your bills. Now that burden will rest on them? No, it won't. And it shouldn't. Because you have a cash buildup in that policy that was $9,000. So now that cash buildup they also will get paid, and that can pay that. What if you had accidental death with that? And what if dad died accidentally? And you had a $10,000 or a $5,000 accidental death policy with your final expense policy. Now you're getting $25,000 plus $5,000. Now you're getting $35,000 plus $10,000. Even if you had a $10,000 policy with a $5,000 accidental death, now you're getting $15,000 instead of 10, and you got $6,000 in your cash buildup. Now you see how final expense can really benefit you? How any whole life policy can benefit you. What's the difference from final expense? Is more affordable for seniors. It's more affordable for people in the age categories of 45 to 89 or even 90. Some companies only start final expense at 50 years old to 80, or 50 years old to 89, or 45 years old to 90. Okay. Now, is it tough to get insurance after 90? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's a horse with no name. So, I hope we have elaborated in a clear fashion about final expense. And if you don't have coverage and protected coverage for your family, do yourself a big favor. Get some quotes so you can be able to put that in your budget, and then make the right decision. You want to talk with someone that's not going to give you no rush, no fuss, but give you the good information that you need, then give me a call at 708-572-7855. 708-572-7855. MCC Financial Service, an Illinois licensed insurance agency, licensed in Illinois and licensed in Virginia. And we'll be licensed in Michigan. So MCC can help. We'll get you information. Get the questions. We'll answer it. Email me at mccfinancialsvs@aol.com. That's mccfinancialsvs@aol.com. Hey, I like to email. I like to text. Okay, text me at 708-577-0328. 708-577-0328. Send me a text. You want to eat? You want to fax me? You really? No, I'm old school, baby. You can fax me at 708-265-5122. 708-265-5122. I've given you everything at your disposal. Now the rest is up to you. You have to be the one. I can't do it for you. I can just answer the questions and help get you started if you let me. God bless you so much. I thank you so much. Can't wait for us to kick off our new show from Land Radio. Once we make our decision on which radio station that it would be, and our new show will be called Insurance Investment. Because that's what insurance is. You're investing in yourself, you're investing in your family, and you're bringing protection for yourself. Don't you not have protection with your homeowner's insurance? Yes, you do. Don't you not have protection with your auto insurance? Yes, you do. So how come you don't have protection for yourself and for your loved ones, your immediate family? It should not just be you from the job. What about the babies? The policy is very inexpensive for them. What about husband? Yeah, I know sometimes we can be kind of, yeah, I know, stiff-necked, hard-headed, but that's why we got you. And we got you because we needed you. You fulfill what we couldn't do for ourselves. That's why you are our better half. Always have, always will be. So you may have to take the bull by the horn, but you'll get the job done. Because there's no way that his death should become a hindrance or a burden to you and the children, or just to you. Okay? Make sure that everything is covered well. And ask me about mortgage protection insurance, another inexpensive policy. That if something were to happen, your mortgage is paid for. The house is paid for free and clear. Very inexpensive. And if you're a rental, ask about rental insurance. Do you know that if you get burnt out of that building, that the landlord policy doesn't replace any of your personal items and things? No. Well, I'm gonna sue him. Ain't gonna even happen. Wait till you go out there and try to do it. Then you're gonna say, man, this ain't fair. This some horse manure. Well, do you know rental insurance will only cost you $8.79, $5.25, $10.94. Depends on the value that you're trying to do. Take advantage of it now before 2022 gets here and that costs go up. Take advantage of it. You see everything else is going up. What you think gonna happen? Don't sit there and procrastinate or hesitate. Look into it. Talk to an agent. If it ain't me, talk to somebody. Get the help you need. Time waits for no one. Don't get caught behind the 8 ball. Even though I like the black ball, and the black ball is strong, and it can knock the white ball, but they got the white ball knocking the black ball around. I'm just here to tell you, you don't want to get caught behind no ball, white or black or blue or yellow. You want to be up front, protected. God bless you so much. May He forever keep you. And I will talk to you guys real soon. We'll be back with Mortgage Talk to talk about some mortgage things. God bless you. And thank you for listening to Mortgage Talk.
Thank you for listening to Mortgage Talk. I hope this information is something that you can use for your mortgage needs. Remember to tune in next week at the same time for more Mortgage Talk. God bless you.